Ombudsman of Namibia, His Worship the Mayor of Kuchima Town Council, as well as the CEO of Kuchima Mulelo Town Council, President of the EEASA, also the Deputy Environmental Commissioner, who is standing in for the Honorable Minister of Environment, Forestry and Tourism. I also understand in the audience we have teachers, we have learners, we have different municipalities, representatives, professors from environment, education departments, UNESCO staff. So all in all, this is very important not for you, but also for UNAM and also for Namibia in general. Therefore, it gives me great pleasure to greet you here at UNAM, and I hope that you have received warm hospitality from here at our campus. Remember also that this is one of 12 campuses that UNAM has. And so it is quite a community that is diverse, but also a community that strives for one very strategic goal that we have at our strategic plan, and that is climate change adaptation. So now you also know that because we have that goal, why UNAM's activities across all of those 12 campuses, across research, across teaching and learning, and across community engagement and innovation is geared towards that. So that is also why we are working so closely with the different agencies, as well as different ministries, such as the Ministry of Environment, Forestry and Tourism, others such as the Ministry of Agriculture, etc. The list goes on. Recently, we also started working very closely with the Namibia Green Hydrogen Council, and I will elaborate a little bit on that. So, in general, across UNAM, we have some of those projects, as I said earlier, that we have very close collaboration with the Ministry of Environment, is specifically also the NILALAC project, which is the Namibia Integrated Landscape Approach for Enhancing Livelihood and Environmental Governance to Development Stability. Actually, it's quite a mouthful. But in short, for us, we abbreviated to NILALAC. And NILALAC has a presence here on campus. We have a wet lab, but importantly, we also have a climate change monitoring and evaluation unit that we are performing on behalf of the ministry. Other things that we are doing are, for instance, we are also trying to sort of address the food shortage in Namibia. And we have different projects for that, from desert agriculture, precision agriculture, many different types. We even have the rice production at one of our northern campuses, where we've adapted actually Japanese rice to flourish in semi-arid regions. And a fun fact that many don't know is that we've taken those very the rice that we have planted there and have adapted there, we've actually taken it to Oranje. Because the southern towns are also struggling to sort of introduce certain types of crop that could be, adapted to their unique environments. That's moderate, and that is Oranje. Now it has another key or strategic importance why we are actually also branching out to the south, except for food security there and self-sustainability of those towns. but also we have the green hydrogen, in the new green hydrogen economy, and I call it the tsunami that's happening, is that we have sort of four valleys that are being developed. And one of the valleys is down there in the Karas region around Lüderitz. It takes into consideration Oranienburg, Roshbina, and Keetmanshoop. And UNAM being the university with the largest agricultural footprint, as well as the most scientists and researchers on climate change, for instance, is taking the lead in these type of activities. And that's why there is some successful adaptation of the rice plantations also in Oranienburg. We're working closely with the town council there on that. So another big project that we've undertaken together with Ministry of Agriculture, for instance, is to look at different seed varieties of white maize, of plumalo or mahango. We're looking at different varieties of tape, and there's another variety that I don't recall now. But we have taken several varieties from, for instance, from Siemens. We've selected those varieties that are sort of, drought resistant, can flourish just in rain-fed environments. And we have set up 6 sites across Namibia. From in Katima Molelo, Bundu, we've set it up in Ugongo in the north. We've set it up in Otjiwarongo, then we went down south. Even in Keetmanshoop and Marintown, we've set up. And what we're doing is we were experimenting to see how can we add more seed varieties that will have better yield, but that will flourish in our unique environments to our pile that's available to the farmers. And as you know, potatoes, for instance, is one of the ones that we import most times of the year. We import, that's one of the things that we import most. And we are experimenting with French varieties. Now, this started already last year, and we had already 2 successful planting seasons. And from those 2 successful planting seasons, we have registered some of those varieties already as Namibian varieties now. And we have now set up the seed multiplication units so that we can distribute it and make it available to the farmers. Now, I'm sorry to ask you this, but you are very quiet. So let me ask you, do you think that our researchers are doing an amazing job in this? Okay. So there are many such stories, and if I'm going to tell you all that UNAM is doing, then I will be standing here the whole day. So let me quickly go to some of the other sort of activities that we're doing that I think has a bearing on the final one that I want to tell you about. Do you see this water in front of you? You read what it is, especially the learners, and you've seen where it is bottled. Right? It's bottled at UNAM's campus in Henry's Bay. So we have a desalination plant, and that was one of the first ones in Namibia. It's a pilot plant, and then that is powered by solar. That water that we're producing is what you're seeing here. Now, can I ask another question? Which water in Namibia do you like best? I'm listening.
Tap water.
UNAM water. UNAM water. That's a given. Which other water? Okay, who likes Oshikati water? Okay, I think that's great water. Tastes really nice, very clean. What about Rindu water? Okay, so it seems as if Oshikati water is winning today. But anyways, but Oshakati water and Flundu water are generally considered by most in Namibia as the best tasting water. Now this one beats them both. We did some taste test, so you can taste it as well and tell us the feedback on that. Okay, but when we access water, what we're doing also at that campus is we planted, for instance, 800 olive trees, right? And we are also adapting a lot of crops. So we have greenhouses there. We've also successfully we are successfully growing mushrooms, Ganoderma mushrooms there. In fact, on the Ganoderma mushrooms, and I wish that one of the researchers was here to tell you, we've actually cut down the growth cycle, to maturity quite significantly right here at Human. And we are producing 100% Ganoderma pearls. And Ganoderma pearls is a dietary supplement that's good for things such as diabetes and all types of things. And those are actually verified what it is good for internationally. Okay, so in the south, in Madrid, we set up 3, I call them baby turbines. They're very tiny in comparison to the big industrial turbines, the 3 that they set up there. But we set up 3 baby turbines. So we were working in combination with the Benguela community there. The electricity is quite impressive research that they've done. And with that, I want to jump into one of the final things that I want to tell you about. Oh, before I do that, one of the things that we're doing, because in UNAM, when we surveyed how many scientists and researchers do we have who's working, within sort of the climate change area or any types of projects in that, we found that it is a significant amount and significant number of projects that we're working on. So we then approached the Ministry of Environment and we asked them last year and started the discussions, and we asked them, okay, Namibia doesn't have a climate change institute. Sometimes the farmers want to know what's happening with the crops, but they can't find, they don't have one place to go find answers. Same with in the fishing sector. So the ministry had then agreed, and together we are busy with plans for a climate change institute. So that there's also another significant thing that is happening in Namibia, and that is on the lips of everyone in the world right now. Do you know? Maybe the learners. Do you know why Namibia is so renowned right now? And so many people flying in? Why is the problem it's becoming so famous? Yes. Oh, guys. Okay, you guys need to come hang out with us a little bit more, right? And then we take you with us. Okay, so green hydrogen. So Namibia is planning to become a green hydrogen hub by the year 2030. And we have already started on that. So we have 4 areas in Namibia that we are going to develop, that government is planning to develop. And one of those areas is in the south, it's around Woodlands, because of the wind speeds and because of the sun. And then in Walfish Bay, because of the sun, in Kunene, etc. So starting off with what happened was that a call for proposals and bids have been issued, where we had subsequently given out two locations, 2 sites for green hydrogen production close to Madrid, which is in the Sperrgebiet. Now, for those who don't know what the Sperrgebiet is the previously proclaimed area that is the diamond area. But in addition to that, the Sperrgebiet is environmentally very sensitive. It's a protected part, right? So you can imagine that everybody's eyes went up and said, what? What is happening? Okay, so it means that there's a lot of careful planning and education and research that has to go into this so that we can still protect, and still strive for our environmental goals while also setting up all of these manufacturing plants. Now, the outfit who was the preferred bidder is Hyphen. And Hyphen says by the year 2026, they want to be fully operational, right? And they will provide about 20,000 jobs. 90% of those jobs should be Namibians, 20% youth, etc., etc. So many new opportunities, but that's not the only thing that's happening. In Walfish Bay, Altavendlis, you guys know Altavendlis? Altavendlis and an outfit from Belgium, CMB Tech, formed a new company called Energy, and they are setting up a pilot project on refueling of trucks. Now, why am I mentioning this? Because, then got on board and we said, okay, we're establishing a green hydrogen research institute. And we did that also because we surveyed across UNAM, we found more than 70 researchers who were already working in areas related to green hydrogen, whether it's in desalination, whether it is in solar and wind. We even have biomass, although biomass is not considered right now. We have scientists, in environmental science, in law, etc., environmental law, etc. So we have so many scientists across even fuel cell technologies. We have a new materials lab. We're working with nanotechnologies, etc. So it's really great. And so we set up this institute that comprises of 6 centers, and the centers are production, so that everything that goes in, from getting the water clean, because to produce green hydrogen you need to have a lot of water because you're splitting water. And for those who are taking chemistry, it is, do you know which one is hydrogen? Okay, so anyways, you take water and then you split it, you get 2 molecules of hydrogen and 1 molecule of oxygen right out of that. But now, how does the splitting happen? Because the hydrogen loves everything. It clings to just about everything when you release it into the air, and it flows away quite easily. So how do you achieve that? You use a lot of energy to split the 2 from each other. So from that, so the reason why it's called green is simply because we are using solar and wind, which is renewable energies, but it's called green energy. And that's why the hydrogen that comes out is colorless. It doesn't have the color green, but it's called green because of those renewable energies. And where do we get water? Because in the morning it's not water, right? So we're getting water from the sea, and that is actually why we're desalinating the water to get water in. What is the end product? Number 1, we get electricity for the splitting, for the electrolysis. that needs to happen, and we get also fresh water that we can actually supply. So we're hoping that as a byproduct, we can really supply green electricity also to our communities. Okay, so we have 6 centers, which is production, storage and new materials, fuel cell technologies and mobility applications, hydrogen use, economics, law, environment, and societal impact. Capacity building is a very big one. We're doing skills education, and I can speak just a tiny bit on that, as well as an emerging technology center, which includes the digital technologies. I'm a computer scientist, so of course I'm looking at it from the perspective of, wow, it's going to be amazing, all of the tech that we're going to put in there. Who loves tech? Oh, wow, so few. Okay, we need to speak a little bit more about that. But so from that, for instance, if you look at tech, who has heard of blockchain? I'm sorry, I'm predominantly speaking to the ministers. Who has heard of blockchain? Who's heard of it? Oh, everybody. So Bitcoin is actually powered by blockchain technology. But blockchain technology is a security protocol that it is used in many types of applications. And one of the applications is, let's say, the environmental commissioner or deputy environmental commissioner wants to say, okay, is this really green? You guys are talking about green hydrogen, but there's blue hydrogen, there's pink hydrogen, there's yellow hydrogen, there's brown, which is dirty hydrogen. So how do we know that it's green since it's colorless? And so we then say, okay, we are using this blockchain technology to track all of the sources. Was it really renewable electricity used? Was it really whatever used? Did we get any electricity from the grid, which means that it might be dirty, there's no source. So it actually is a verifiable record to track where your hydrogen is coming from. Because many people are asking, what does IT have to do with green hydrogen? Everything. Because even in your manufacturing sector, you have massive data centers that are coming in, and we even want them to be green. And the deputy environmental commissioner should be smiling now, because what this means is that Namibia can claim carbon credits if we can show that our sources are green, and that means it's more money. So in short, we are working together with other universities, with local institutions on the research and development for green hydrogen, as well as skills development, short courses, as well as formal courses. We're looking at the value chain on supporting small businesses, but we're working with other partners on that, who can support this new economy. Very important is that last week there was a very big green hydrogen conference here in Namibia, and UNAM is a partner to 3 of 4 pilot projects that were selected out of 25, and the total amount of money that was given to these 4 pilot projects is 500 million. 500 million. So we will be working on those. So finally, in another hat that I wear, I'm the chairperson of the 4IR Presidential Task Force. And yesterday we gave our final report, but our theme for 4IR was 4IR as an enabler for green and inclusive industrialization. Thank you so much.
Yes, when talk was, speaking here, the first 2-3 minutes, I was like, why is she not talking about technologies? because I'm coming from that side. Then when she started, integrating technologies in her speech, again, I was so happy and so smiling. Colleagues, I'm not happy with what we heard from, Professor Kamisia. Okay, then can we show you from the next speaker, we will smiley and let our hands when they are saying very important things. She always talk about, 500 billion here. And we do not even say anything or give her a sign like, we are surprised or thankful for, what that specific, team did for Namibia. Colleagues, we are moving on with our, program. And next in the program are the remarks by the Namibian Ombudsman, Mr. Basilius Diakunga. Mr. Basilius, the floor is yours. The reason why we said exercise.
Yes, thank you, Director of these proceedings. I observed the protocol that was established by Professor who actually highlighted the proceedings of the previous day. My name is African Basilius Diakua. Of course, by now, everybody in Namibia knows I'm the Ombudsman of Namibia. I'm not really in the culture of reading what I prepare, because I first look at the audience and then I adjust. Anyway, let's break the ice. I see many young people here. Can I see hands who watch cartoons here? Hands. I also watch cartoons. One of my favorite programs on national television. And I'll tell you why. When you watch cartoons, you really live in a very, very peaceful environment, beautiful environment. You see, everything in the cartoon is just, in Afrikaans, they highlight the word mooi. Alles is not mooi. Even the Krasberg is mooi, alles is not mooi. So that is actually something we can emanate in our real life situation. It can happen. It can happen. I was told this is an environmental gathering or training, and that's why I highlighted the issue of what you see in the cartoon world is really all about this gathering. When we grow up, particularly myself, it comes from the mighty Kavango River. I never saw this. There was nothing like bottled water. But today, everywhere you go, it's just bottled water. I think there is a sign that something is going wrong. And my grandparents, when they lived the world, there was no clinics. But they lived very long. And I can tell you, it is nature that took them through. Nature took care of them. Because everything was in nature. Today, everywhere you go, there is a clinic. Then you ask yourself, what is going on? Something is really going right there or wrong there. So I think that's actually my introductory statement. I believe that there are two educations. One education is in the classroom, and the other one is outside the classroom, where we learn where we learn the real life. Sometimes we call it, you learn through the hard way, the difficult way. I think both education is very, very important. No one does really over the other. But I think I will want to give you a very short, interesting information about environment. You know, as a human being, there is no one who doesn't like nice things. I haven't met that person. That person still has some. Everyone just wants nice things. And we like to admire what others have done. Some years ago, I see young people here, they were not even born. Windhoek was the cleanest city in Africa. And somehow it was snatched from us by Kigali. It's a city in Rwanda. And then you ask yourself, what happened? It's a thought. The people in Rwanda, they realize that we must reverse things so that we can live in the world of cartoons. You know, I have been to Rwanda sometimes, many times. You cannot see it. I've been also to Singapore. In Singapore, you cannot even see a cigarette stump or a gum cup, chewing gum. In Singapore, they have a law that all shops in Singapore, you don't sell chew gum, just by law. Because they know that they will pollute the islands. I think the whole world is in our heads, but I'm so excited to see many young people here because you are the one who is going to live longer here than me. So you need to really start doing something. I'm giving you 10 reasons why you should protect the environment. The first one, it saves life. It saves lives. Like I said, my grandparents, their generation, they never had the clinics around them, but it is nature who took care of them. So it saved their lives. And like I said, this water is a new phenomenon. We were just drinking from the Kavango River because naturally, nature is designed to purify itself. So we were throwing snakes in that river and dead dogs, but the few miles away, the person can drink that water and slide because it has been purified by grass here, and that's nature. The second one is to create jobs. And in Namibia, we complain of unemployment, and nature can offer you that solution. I see officials from the Ministry of Environment here, they can testify to that. Create jobs. You have heard about various clothes and many other products from forests, maras, comes from nature. When you harvest this, you can survive. But if we don't take care of nature, there's nothing there for you. And the third one is conserve resources. With the whole concept of development, you cannot develop without resources. So you have heard about a sustainable resource utilization of the resource management. So that's actually very, very key for you to have clinics, roads, schools, books, computers, anything, you have to take care of nature. The fourth reason is it protects animals. I don't want to live in a country where there is no animals.
Thank you.
Because this is why you see tourists coming to Namibia. Because there is so many to see here. But the main thing is the big five, you know. So that's important for human beings. You have to live with nature. If you can imagine shops where there's no honey, because the bees are all gone, I think you will just be maybe pray to God to make a fake honey. So that's the fifth one. Yeah, the fifth one is to improve the coexistence. I have not seen really anyone who don't want to coexist in nature, because we in my area where I come from, there is so many trees there. We call them even giant trees. But when you want to establish your small homestead there, you probably cut all the trees around there and then build your structure. But a few months later or a year later, you will start planting some trees again there, because you can't really live without it, you know? Because when you cut them off, you will start now taking a journey to go and rest under a tree out miles away from your home. And then later you say, no, why must I do that? Let me just go. When you take care of nature, it actually will prevent disaster, like famine, in terms of hunger. There's no grass everywhere. There's no water everywhere. So if you take care of the environment, you prevent disasters. And the other one, you will be smart. As a person, you will be smart. You know, this one is it's not easy for you to understand. Actually, when God created earth and heaven, he later then said, no, I want to create a human being so that he can manage it. You understand? So now, when you are managing something in the correct way, then you are smart. Then you are smart. You always feel good when you come out of a good home. I think the ninth one is you will have fun. We always want to take a break. from your home and go into nature. Because when you go into nature, there is a lot of music there. A lot of music. When it rains, you want just to be somewhere in a dream, or look at the stars. You can really have fun in nature. The last one is, I think you have to be a role model. Because this one, we all want to leave something for our children. But we don't want to talk about, we want to leave the environment, the good environment for our children. I think in that case, we are missing something. Because if you want to leave a house for your child, but we want to leave it on the earth which is not stable, that house will be washed away. That house will be knocked away by nature. So we have to be role models, think generational, you know, that those are coming after us, they must come and find things as it is. So I will actually leave you with an unknown quote, which says that development is not important than nature, and nature is not important than development. So that statement gives you to think about that these two, we have to balance it. Because it's actually development which is causing a lot of trouble for us, but we need development also. So, in other words, I will leave you with that thought that you have to balance the two. So I will end there. Thank you.
Yes, powerful one. Hey, I was a little bit scared. Yeah? It was talking about us living with snakes. So some of us at the moment with snakes. The first thing that comes into my mind is just to make sure that it's completely and nicely dead.
Yeah.
But I think in this room, all of us, the moment we see snake, then we have to look after it and we have to nurture that snake, you know. I think that's what we have in this specific room, isn't it? Yes, so thank you so much, Mr. Batius. I think we have learned a lot of things from you. And also, you know, touching on the issue of development, and that's what we are fighting for, and this development that's now destroying, you know, the environment. The next item on our program, you know, I have to give this lot to two schools. We have one school, the first school is University Primary School, and right after University Primary School, then we will have Otavi Primary School. University Primary School, are you in the house? Yes, then the floor is yours. I don't know the arrangement, maybe you need to perform, or you need them an open space. Okay, then that's fine. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yes, I'll observe all the protocols that have been established here this morning. My name is Patricia Lutivezi. I'm the acting principal at the EEASA Primary School. And I will introduce my team here, a very big team. I have our learners there, and Mr. Mene and Ms. Jason, they are teachers who are spearheading the environmental actions at the school. This school was established in 2014, just like our sister school, but it's still taking baby steps as far as environmental education is concerned. So what we are going to say is just the beginning, and big things are still to come. What do you say? This school, the teachers at the school are so passionate about environmental education. And the passion that we have is also spearheaded by the people who are supporting us. And I want to thank Ms. Nantinda. She is one of the people who ignited the fire within the school. Whatever we are doing is coming from there. And there are also some organizations that we are collaborating with that are also igniting some more fire. I will mention them by name. We have the Environmental Investment Fund, we have AgriBank, we have WWF, we have the Botanical Gardens, we have Giraffe Conservation Foundation, and we have NADID. NADID is, in 2019, we took our learners to NADID to just go and see what environmental education is all about. Because as teachers, we didn't know what is it that we have to teach the kids. So we took them there and we saw a lot of things, and we vowed to establish an environmental club. So the learners that you see standing behind you here are some members of the environmental club. Then didn't leave us there. They continued. There was a call to for teachers to be trained as environmental educators using the program Teach for ESD. I personally registered, and Mr. Imene here is my partner in that program. Yeah, he's my partner in the program. So we are working closely together to implement what we are learning through the NADID program. Thank you very much. And, our school has been selected as a pilot school for edu conservation. Edu conservation has been piloted in 3 countries: the Republic of Congo, Senegal, and Morocco. Oh. And then Gabon and Namibia are the other countries. So we are one of the few schools that have been selected in Namibia. They say hard work attracts resources. Oh. Is that true?
Yes.
Yes. So they have identified our school to be a pilot school. And as I'm speaking, 4 of our teachers, junior primary, from grade 0 to grade 3, have been trained in edu conservation, and they are training others in the school. If you go to the school now and get into any classroom, you'll find that there's a lot of environmental education that is taking place in our lessons. We are not going to cover everything, because if we cover everything, we'll take the whole day. A lot that we have. So then we have right now we are working closely with Recycle Namibia Forum. Through our work, they have identified us to partner with them. They want us to create a song next time when there is a conference like this. will come and sing the song, reciting the 7 R's of recycling. I don't know who knows the 7 R's. Huh?
We can try. Just not to fight.
Okay, all of them, yes. Simeon? Okay. The 7 R's, they rethink, refuse, reduce, reuse, repair, re-gift, and recycle. Hmm?
Right.
What you don't need, you give to the other one as a gift. All right, so we are teaming up with the RNF to run that song. And it's targeted towards promoting the 7 R's. Our school was selected because the school's actions align well with the RNF goals. So that is one area. The other area that I want to highlight is, as an acting principal, we are advocating for green leadership. Green leadership means we want to include everyone in the school. We don't want to leave anyone out. So my colleague and partner here is a member of the school board. Okay, so that is leadership. We have our head boy here. Our head boy. We have our head here. It's part of the environmental part. Those are the prefects, so it's part of leadership. So we are building leaders who will be the environmental ambassadors. They are already environmental ambassadors in our school, so they are spreading the word everywhere. Thank you very much. And then finally, we made an evaluation of our school's core values, and then we could see that our core values were not aligning with what we want to do. So we used the name of the letters in the name of the school, Zimbabwe, to come up with the values that are aligning with what we are doing. So what I'll just highlight 2 of them. I will not highlight all of them. So these core values are serving as motivation and benchmarks for our success. So one of them is citizenship. I think you can see there, developing knowledge, skills, and confidence to enable people to make their own decisions and take responsibilities for their own lives and communities. So in Zimbabwe, that is the first letter. Okay, and then we have also sustainability that we have incorporated in our values. We want to teach our children to avoid depleting the natural resources in order to maintain the ecological balance. So I'll just mention those. There are many: the integrity, accountability, and blah blah blah. Okay, so I will not say everything. I want my team here to just briefly, they will just say what they have said. Thank you.
Our environmental health.
Yeah, it's fine.
Let's talk about our environmental health. Our environmental health is a young visit of the environment. We use on special days where we not only discuss but also practice the environment. And the chief counting ceremonies that we have at our school as well. We had sponsors such as Eduventure and Vector. We donated food to our school. We had special chief counting ceremonies with founding them all over our school to add to the beauty of the community. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Elijah from the grade 6 year. And I'm going to share something about our school. At first, we were planting with an open plot land, the junior school block.
And but then we never had any materials to start our school fire. So we started planting in tires. And then after that we got sponsored, with some building materials from building company like wood, stone, sand, and water tanks. After that, we have garden outdoor activities.
Oh, we can say
The chair. Give it the chair.
the chair.
Chair.
There's a chair. Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Alicia Isak, and I'm a big fan of Today I'll be talking about permaculture gardening at our school. Permaculture gardening, permanent agricultural culture, growing food in harmony while making use of available resources. Morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Anima Bhumna, and the second composting as well as recycling. Well, at our school we have a garden, which was already mentioned, but our garden is really special to us because we don't use chemicals and other substances in the garden, but we use compost and that. And my fellow pupils and I painted soils and use them together with the school. And that's how we use soil. Thank you very much for listening to my presentation. Morning, my name is Ashali Anandi. Today I'm going to talk about harvesting. We use water tanks to harvest rainwater, and we make use of them watering plants.
Good morning.
Morning.
I'm Giovanni Nanup, and I'm a grade 7 learner from Mabasa Primary School. Now, as a school, we care a lot about sustainability and resource saving. We make it our philosophy to do so. So what we do is we put up signs in terms of using electricity wisely. In terms of littering, we put the signs up in the playgrounds, and we made a tradition out of it. We made a tradition out of it to let learners know that they should switch off the lights in classrooms, and we moved dustbins into different areas of the school to make them more accessible and visible to learners. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Karen. I will about the type of events that we do at our school. We encourage and invite them to pick up papers, and we also encourage them not to reduce the amount of plastic used in our school. We also encourage them to bring reusable lunch boxes and water bottles so we can have less plastic in our environment. We clean our school, I think, twice a year, and get out as a school. Some dustbins and some Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is David Nora, and I'm a teacher. Today I will be teaching you about green benefits. Green benefits is concerning the number of benefits. The aim is to keep the celebration high as we March 2022, we had our culture at our school. We had to wear our cultural attires and perform that is not finished. We celebrated our cultural diversity, which is part of the ESG, SDG 4.
Hello, my name is Tian, and I am a grade 7 learner at Mabasa Primary School. We have received donations that we have used in the making of the garden, as it was already mentioned. And we also have given out donations from the plants that we have gathered from the garden to different places and learners of our school. Thank you for your time.
Okay, hello, everybody. I'm just here to summarize what they have actually said. And I hope they will not be judging me English because I'm the English teacher. Yes, our studies actually established by the celebration of culture. Unknowingly, when we celebrated this day or this diversity that we have in the school, because our school is actually made up of different tribes and races, we did it actually unconsciously, without knowing that celebrating culture is part of SDG 4, which is quality education, right? I think it is something new to some of the people here as well. Yes, so that is what we basically do. It's interestingly about our school as well. We do not offer agriculture as a subject A, but we are a school that is interested in environmental education. And we are really proud to be actually doing some of these activities with our learners, as well as with our colleagues. And we are forever grateful as well for our sponsors, as well as the Teach for ESD program that really helped us to integrate environmental education in our lessons. For me, for instance, as a school and as an English teacher, I didn't know how to incorporate environmental education in my lessons. But as part of a Teach for ESD program, I've learned that, for instance, I can use a reading comprehension text about environmental education, ask questions about that, and in that case, I can also include this in my lessons. Okay, so they can do oral presentations about environmental issues. So thank you very much.
Just want to give a brief summary. What you saw in the slides is not photoshopping. So we brought what is coming from our garden and we'll give this as a gift to the local organizing community because we know the sports and stores they can go into. Yes, please. Yes, green onions from our gardens and spinach.
Probably they can. Do we still have Kanyaba here? Oh, okay. Oh, there's also Professor Ngam. Oh, okay.
You can also
Now I
accept.
have to do it on their behalf.
Yeah.
So,
Says
So we are presenting this, a gift. See how pretty. Thank you very much. And that is how we clean our deserts. University is in the mountains of Egypt. Thank you.
Another round of applause for. Very surprising that a school in winter have this type of gardens and they can come up with all these vegetables. I don't know about other schools in rural areas where they have fertile lands and all those things. I hope the next school that's coming, primary school, they will give us more gifts than this one. So the next item in our program, I said, I'll put the floor to the Otavi private school, and I can see that probably they had one that are coming from that side. But I'm so happy to see this, and that's how, our school syllabus was supposed to be taught and to be implemented. There should be some practical elements that are incorporated there. Thank you so much. That's your final. While we are fixing some few things here, Mr. Fobi, please meet Prof. MJ at the registration desk during tea break. Mr. Fobi, please meet Prof. MJ at the registration desk during tea break. Okay. Can you all see maybe what is projected there? So that people can just use that format.
Go to slideshow. Slideshow. It's not the up there, slideshow.
The middle one.
The slideshow.
The
Up.
Okay, go on. I don't know. So far, I could I just provided the laptop. Where's the slideshow? Is it not at the bottom? Oh, nice. Got it. Oops.
Lights go off. And the lights go off.
Ceremony. I would like to acknowledge all the protocol of law. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I am Ms. Ebigen Naima, member. I'm a teacher from Otari Primary School. I'm also the chair lady of our school in the club. I'm not alone. I am with my team. Right here next to me, this is Ms. Victoria Kilombo. She is a medical science teacher at Otari Primary School, and then she is also a member of the environmental club. Among the audience there, there is also one of our colleagues, Ms. Mariam Shangeta. And she is there waiting. And then this is our school environmental club members. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here to present our activities that we are doing at our school in promoting the education for sustainable development, ESD. And then also, we are not only here to present our activities, we are also here to learn and also to add on our experience. Before I hand over to our environmental club learners, allow me also to acknowledge EEASA Namibia, because they are our main sponsors for our school garden project, as well as the construction of our school. In the same vein, we are also extending our gratitude to Ms. Lina Nantinda, the coordinator of NIM. Thank you, Ms. Lina, for motivating and encouraging us. We are present here today because of your support. I now hand over to our environmental club learners so they can just tell us more.
Internationally invited guests, beloved teachers, ladies and gentlemen, fellow learners, good morning. Good morning. My name is Elizabeth King, a grade 7 learner at Otari Primary School of the 25 years. I am 13 years old. One of our first activities is compost and gardening. We have noticed that our soil is very poor for plant growth. That is why we came up with the idea of making compost to improve our soil quality. We collected fruit and vegetable peels, eggshell, used tea bags, all leaves and papers. All of these organic kitchen waste we collected as an assignment for our garden compost during the holidays. The soil from our compost garden is then used to plant our vegetables. These vegetables include spinach, carrots, onions, potatoes, and vegetables. The importance of this garden is to teach everyone in our community to try to plant or take of garden. After we harvest all the vegetables, it goes straight to the feeding program. Our feeding program was made to feed our learners during break time. We always see that we want to feed our learners during our harvest. At times when we have harvested more than enough, our teachers give us a portion and a juice to take home with us. Our parents used to be very happy when they see us coming home with the harvest from our garden. This garden has encouraged us to make our own home garden. The reason for our garden is to supply learners with food. We found gardening as a way to save money, as food is becoming very expensive from the top. It affects picture. This is us making life our home for students. The second picture is us making our vegetables. In the second picture is us harvesting our spinach, and we look very happy harvesting it. In the second picture, that is our harvested beetroot and carrots. In the fourth picture, you see our fishing program where our aunties are taking part, and here is our fellow speakers. Our second in our last speaker in doing our harvest report. When we have harvested more than enough, we are giving the portions to our learners to take home with them. Thank you for listening to our first activity. Good morning, all valued guests and my fellow learners.
Morning.
My name is Esther Kapata. I'm in grade 6 and I'm from Kingston.
Oh.
I'm from a small town called Otari in the at Otari School. Here I will be talking about reduce and at our school, we reduce papers by collecting them and using them for our compost. We also collect 2-liter plastic bottles that makes edges around our babies, and some bottles we use them to. We use them for planting our seedlings before transplanting. Some of those papers we collect from our school environment, we recycle them and make fireballs out of them. When the fireballs are dry, they go to the feeding program for the aunties to make fire with them. We noticed that fireballs make a strong fire, which is clean, no pollution. As you see from the picture, this is us preparing our compost, and in the second picture you can see us making our beddings so that when you are watering our plants, the water does not flow away. In the third picture, you can see us having our bottles of food where we planted our seedlings, so that when they are fully mature, we can go transplant them.
Nice.
This picture, you can see us preparing and getting our papers to make fireballs out of it.
Oh.
As you can see here, here are our fireballs when they are dry and they are ready to go to the feeding program. In the last picture, you can see me putting
The people must know.
you can see me putting fireballs at a fire so we can cook our food and break time. Thank you for listening.
Morning, the development for I am Elena, I and our professor. I will talk about our which is saving natural resources as environmental planning at our school. We also came up with awareness posters on how to save water, electricity, and trees. We pasted these awareness posters at our water panel in each class under the light switches and in our corridors. As you can see from our pictures, here are some activities we environmental club members do, such as awareness posters, so the learners know what to do when they come across the posters. So our first message says, be smart, clean water in a container. And our second message says, save energy, turn off the lights. We should be smart to turn off the lights in order not to waste money. Last but not least, this awareness will back up with a special message that says, go green, there is no planet good. This simply means we should plant more trees because many people cut down trees without replacing them. If we don't replace these trees, this will lead to soil erosion, climate change, and so on. But if we can replace these trees, this will be usable for the future. My name is Krishna.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning.
Good morning. Excuse me. My name is Laurentino Pisa from Private Primary School in the Global. Our first topic is training campaign. Lastly, I would like to talk about our last activities, which are the training campaign and keeping our school premises clean. The theme inside our school premises as well as the surroundings. For the training campaign, we also do participating training campaigns. With the help of our town council, whereby we get that group and pick up with all around our town. On a monthly basis, we also clean the inside of our school grounds. Our next topic is keeping our school premises clean. We mostly request for donations of fruit and shade trees, and despite some you remember, the first is that we granted the donation from beautiful Namibia and from the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Tourism Academy. On the 3rd of this month, we also granted 3 trees that were donated by the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Tourism Academy. But also that they that the representative from Namibia's Environmental Education Trust, NAPIT, thank you, just shown our progress on the education process. Thank you for listening to your presentation. Then we are picking up. Here we are picking up the waste all around our town. Here we are cleaning the inside of our school premises. Here I am jumping with our first speaker, Elizabeth Shumi, and the 2 many left are the representatives from NAPIT.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of our presentation. Unfortunately, we could not bring something fresh from our school garden because we just planted a week before we came to the conference. But next time for sure, we'll bring fresh.
another round of applause. Wow. Primary schools. Where are the secondary schools? They will come when? No. Yes. Thank you so much. It is so seriously they have to show us that we really need to be environmental friendly and we need to take care of our environment. And we were informed here that we need to live with our environment, not just live in the environment, but we have to live with our environment. Now we are moving towards the end of our program, and the last item in this program is the keynote address, and the keynote address will be made by Dr. Caroline Carus, and Dr. Caroline is the Deputy Environmental Commissioner. He will say more about the reasons why she's here. Dr. Caroline, the floor is yours.
Like,
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
My name is Caroline Carus. I'm the Deputy Environmental Commissioner at the Ministry of Environment, Forestry and Tourism. I'm here on behalf of our Minister, Minister Shiketa, to offer the keynote address on this auspicious occasion on the 40th Environmental Education Conference organized by the Environmental Education Association of South Africa. So many words. Director of Ceremonies, Dr. Sakrak Shurov-Meka. I hope I got your surname right. So mine is actually Carus Was, not just Carus, whichever imaginary. HOD, Higher Education, Lifelong Learning, School of Education, University of Namibia. Mr. Vasilis Yakuka, Ombudsman of Namibia. Your Worship, Mr. Shamalaza, Mayor of Katima Mulilo. Mr. Rafael Swaniso, CEO of Katima Mulilo. Professor Alphonse Mosimane, Executive Dean, Faculty of Education and Human Sciences, University of Namibia. Dr. John Nyambe, Associate Dean, School of Education. Professor Anastasia Peters, Pro Vice Chancellor, Research Innovation Development. So she's the extension. Just take your break. Right. Teachers, learners, especially from Babasa Otabu, very proud of you. Varsity students, distinguished guests, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. Let me first start by saying that it is my honor to be invited to speak at this conference on a subject that is very close to my heart, environmental education. I want to also congratulate Environmental Education Association of Southern Africa, EEASA, I will be calling it EEASA from now on, for accomplishing a milestone, 40 years of existence in which the association attained excellence in strengthening collaborative efforts to support quality environmental education and training to create a more sustainable world for all in Southern Africa and beyond. Happy birthday, EEASA. Ladies and gentlemen, this year's conference theme is very significant. Education of post-COVID-19 recovery and attaining the sustainable development goals with considerations, challenges, and opportunities. This theme is indeed appropriately coined as it is giving
as a renewed focus on the SDGs, which give a world's roadmap to end poverty, promote prosperity, promote people's well-being while protecting the planet. In 2020, the world was hit by an unprecedented pandemic that reversed the gains of the SDGs as it disrupted the economic and social systems and exposed vulnerabilities faced by the communities. Our countries are still dealing with these effects, adverse effects, and our development sectors have been forced to relook at pre-pandemic strategies to assess how to adapt. We must now consider new ways in which we can tackle not just the immediate impact of COVID-19, but also the reality of COVID-19 setbacks to achieve the SDGs. The question here now is, how do we build back better and promote sustainable practices that ensure a resilient recovery while attaining the sustainable development goals? Director of Ceremonies. Environmental education is critical in our lives as it allows individuals to explore environmental issues that engage in problem-solving actions to improve the very aspects of the environment that sustains our lives. And as a result, ladies and gentlemen, individuals develop a deeper understanding of environmental issues and acquire skills to make well-informed and responsible decisions, be it, of course, in the work lives, be it in the private lives. It is only when we are educated about the environment that we become aware of the harmful effects of environmental damage and take steps to help build a secure and safe future for our children. Over the years, EEASA has evolved and expanded on the traditional concept of nature conservation by embracing broader perspectives of environmental education and education for sustainable development to include global issues such as those relating to climate change, green economy, environmental justice, including human rights issues, and offering practical solutions in the reduction of water, air, and land pollution, climate change mitigation, and of course, adaptation issues. More importantly, EEASA has adopted and taken practical measures for change towards environmental sustainability. The above approach is significant, particularly for Southern Africa, which has become more integrated towards or into the world economy. Ladies and gentlemen, even though the subcontinent contributes and leads to the world's environmental changes or alterations, the burgeoning environmental impacts threaten not only the subcontinent's public health, but also its economy and social fabric. To mitigate these threats, EEASA must be at the bedrock in delivering a literate population that is capable of evaluating numerous policy options and offering solutions for sustainability at the local, national, regional, and international levels. Environmental education, or EE, is a catalyst that facilitates an in-depth understanding of actions and skills, attitudes, and values amongst our people. Further, EE develops our people's capacity and ability to implement sustainable actions, trajectories for climate change, excellence for energy, decarbonization, create new economies, act to protect ecosystem services, ensure environmental justice, and respect human rights in the efforts to clean water, land, and air. Ladies and gentlemen, in 1994, the Namibian Environmental Education Network was established by a wide variety of stakeholders to share ideas and further the interest of EE and ESD in Namibia. Since then, Namibia has actively participated in various regional and international platforms regarding EE and ESD, including the UN Decade of Education for Sustainable Development, which was from 2005 to 2014, the Global Action Program 2015 to 2019, and now, of course, the UNESCO ESD for 2030 decade. The Ministry of Environment, Forestry and Tourism has developed various key components, documents, and action plans that provide a framework for environmental education and education for sustainable development. One such key document is the Environmental Education for Sustainable Development Policy and its Strategy and Action Plan 2022-2026. We have also developed the Communication, Education, and Public Awareness Strategy that confirms the importance of environmental research, information, and education for a primary purpose of ensuring that our people are environmentally aware to produce environmentally friendly, innovative ideas, processes, products, and services. Our ministry values the Namibia Environment Education Network and is supportive of the work of the Namibian education community. This includes schools and universities, NGOs' involvement in environmental education and biodiversity conservation, as well as the production of educative material for environmental education and awareness. Director of Ceremonies, ladies and gentlemen, I believe that environmental education has a unique power to catalyze the gains after the pandemic by tackling climate change through decarbonizing energy, enhancing green economy, protecting ecosystem services, and ensuring environmental justice. Thus, consequently, reducing water, land, and air pollution, with the expected outcomes of ending forms of poverty, fighting inequalities by the token of no one is left behind. I believe that these matters will be the main features in the discussion at the conference. In closing, I wish to remind all of us that environmental education is everyone's business and should never be left to the government alone. In this connection, I implore you to hold hands with us to ensure our environment is protected for the benefit of the current as well as the future generations. I wish you all a wonderful environmental education and education for sustainable development conference. Thank you.
Is that enough for her? Colleagues, we are now at the end of this morning session that I was moderating. And right now we are about now to go for the lunch break. And I know for sure that there will be announcements now, so that at least you know what to do right after tea break. There will be breakaway sessions. And that's the reason why I would like to call on the podium, Mr. Zacharias Miranda, a local organizing committee member, to come and make some announcements and just to tell us about some housekeeping policy issues. Just before him, the Wi-Fi, I think a number of you were trying to make use of guests, and probably it is not working. So now the Wi-Fi is conference. You look for conference, and the password is welcome at 2022, but capital W. Welcome, capital W, welcome at 2022. That's the password. So do not use it, because that one is not access. Did you get it? Sorry. Okay, so it's conference, then password is welcome at 2022, capital W. Mr. Zakaria, the floor is yours. Yes.
Is it the edge?
Yes. Yes. Yeah, that edge.
I know they will type 80. They will type 80.
No, it's that edge. I don't know how that is look like. Okay, so after him, I will not come back here because I will you listen. So I will wish you all the best for the rest of the day because I have some other engagement right after this, and I will not be able to be with you until the end of the day. Probably tomorrow I'm also doing the session. Thank you so much.
Right, good morning.
Morning.
Thank you very much, Director of proceeding for the morning session. My name is Zakaria Saranda, part of the local organizing committee. We just want to do a bit of announcement, some sort of like housekeeping orders. But before I do that, I wanted to invite my colleagues. Because I realized that yesterday we did not do the announcement, introduce the LOC, because I think it is very, very important that you need to know us in case you need assistance. Can I invite my colleagues that are outside so that they can come in front here? Who can assist me? Yes, Anaki, can you please come? Please come. You can just stand here in front so that they can see you. I hope Sirka, we're waiting for you. Please come in. Thanks. All right, thank you very much. These are the local, the LOC. Please, if you need assistance, these are the right people that you need to approach. Aniki, then after her, duty, and I think most of us, we know Professor Alex Kanyimba. And then we have Sirka. Then after Sirka, we have Victoria. And then after Victoria, we have Claudine. And then we have Jessica. Last but not least, we have Simeon. So these are the right people that should assist you, when you are, maybe looking for something. So these are the right people. I should apologize on behalf of my colleagues that we're supposed to to do this yesterday. So, but we couldn't do it, but it's not too late. So that's why we are doing it now. So please, let's give them a very big round of applause. Thank you so much. Okay. The second announcement, the venues, because I believe there are some delegates that only join us today. So I think it's important that we just need to repeat where the venues. We are still going to make use of the venue that we used yesterday. Track 1 will be in LH3. Track 1 it will be LH3. Then track 2 in the library. Track 3 LH5. And then track 4. Track 4 it will be here, PK1, that is Peter Kachabiri. And then the last, that is track 5, it will also be in the library. This is an online session. Can I repeat?
Yes, please.
Track 1, LH3. LH3, that is track 1. Thank you so much. Please, let's give a round of applause for Track 2 will be in the library. Track 3, LH5, Track 4, PK1, where we are. And then track 5 to also be in the library. This is an online session. Right? I think that one is clear. All right. The third announcement, I just want to remind you that we do have some exhibition that is taking place. I think some of the delegates were not aware where the exhibition is taking place. Exhibition is running in the gym hall. If you don't know where the gym hall is, you can approach us so that we can direct you where the gym hall is. And that will take place during tea time and lunch time. So the exhibition will run during tea time and lunch time. So please, you are more than welcome to the gym hall so that you can look at the exhibition. Then the next announcement, we will have an excursion tomorrow. We schedule it from immediately after lunch. That is from 2 up to 6. Hopefully, the duration or the time will allow us to do whatever that we want to do. So we are going to make further announcement tomorrow on the places or the venue that we are going to visit. But from tomorrow, immediately after lunch, we are going to go to Commercial Campus, UNAM Commercial Campus, where we are going to witness the tree planting session. Wow. And then after that, thank you so much. Then immediately after the tree planting session, then we'll move now to do some excursion to the venues that we are going to announce later. Then the other announcement is the lunch. We want to improve on today's proceeding. So the lunch tickets. Thank you so much. Okay. The lunch tickets will be issued during the parallel venues session because today we are going to be a bit strict. We will not be allowed, to enter the hall if you do not have a ticket. Because yesterday we realized that there were a bit of chaos because some of the delegates were not given tickets, and then we ended up not having sufficient support. So we want to improve that. So please make sure that you have a ticket. The tickets will be distributed by the LOC. And if you are not going to get your tickets, please approach us so that we can issue you the tickets. Then we have a lost item, a divisor. I'm not going to mention what is the name of the divisor or the identity of the divisor.
Five to 11.
6:15.
11.
Right. We picked up a lost item, but I'm not going to identify what kind of an item. So if you lost something, please approach me. I have it, but you need to describe what you lost. Okay, but it's a very, very important item. So if you are not coming for, you can inherit it, no problem. All right. Then I think the other announcement is the gala dinner. But I think we'll make an announcement tomorrow on what is going to happen tomorrow, what time will it be, because there's a slight changes in the venue. There's a slight changes. All right. I think on that note, those were the few announcements that we just wanted to pass on. So on behalf of sorry.
Yesterday, thank you so much for introducing the LOC, the local organizing committee. We needed to have there'll be what you call an annual general meeting, which I just informed you about now, which is going to take place here from 4:15.
I don't even know whether it's also going to be live streamed.
No,
It'll be a Zoom. It'll be Zoom.
Yeah, no live stream. So this event actually is live streamed. Just now, we were standing there, I got somebody from Botswana to me that, okay, I see. So the proceedings have been broadcasted, in Southern African countries. So please, let's come for the annual general meeting. It's 4:15. And the other thing that I really wanted to ask, David is also there. It's not every day that you can have the ombudsman with you, the minister, the commissioner. A setup like this one where we have people who are governing, when government protecting our natural resources, and the professors and the students. A setup such as this one, it promotes more than we learn from them because they are all their government. And then it's not every day that we can have something like this. And this is it's a special occasion that an ombudsman can be with you for the entire morning. So please, can we really give him a round of applause for this? I just wanted to ask whether we could have, because we didn't have a group photo with him. Is it okay that we can have a group photo outside? Is that okay? So it is gonna be for our memory. I think it's gonna go, well ahead of time in our memory. So can we have a movement? Maybe a photo with you outside, and it's gonna be, we keep on referring to it years and years after today. So please, David, can you assist with just a very quick photo outside? Thank you.
All right, thank you, Prof. I just before you leave, I also want to acknowledge, we have delegates that came from some this region. I want to acknowledge the presence of the mayor from Katima, and then also the CRO. Thank you very much. I'm not sure if are they here? They're here. Oh, please get ready. Yeah. Thank you so much. All right. Okay. Thank you. So please, photo outside. David.